Yo, what's up YouTube? I have another one of those quick little question videos for you that we did previously for Titanfall 2 tech test, just your feedback and all that kind of cool stuff. A couple more questions I have for you this time around. Let's go right into it. Question number one that I have for you is the sliding mechanic in Titanfall 2. Not just sliding in general, but the slide hopping, you know, bunny hopping with the slide mechanic. How do you feel about this mechanic and how it affects Titanfall 2's playability, mobility, you know, the feeling of speed and all that stuff? My personal opinion is that it may be a little too good. It may be a little too easy to do. It's almost easier to perform this mechanic, at least on a keyboard. It's easier to perform this mechanic effectively without losing much speed than it was to perform quote-unquote true bunny hopping or god hops in Titanfall 1. I'm not entirely sure that this is really a good change for the game, but maybe it is. I don't know. I want to hear your guys' feedback, and you know, maybe you guys can sway me one way or the other. But the idea here is that if you were to remove slide hops and restore regular bunny hops back to their former glory, then it's kind of difficult for a lot of controller players to perform proper bunny hopping and strafing without remapping their controls and completely changing the way that they approach their input method. And I don't know if is that a reasonable expectation to have of your players or not. That's also a question that you guys can answer, because I'm not really sure. But I don't know if slide hopping is terribly okay. And the reasoning for that is that the input is kind of difficult for controller players to perform. It's rather simple for a PC player to jump, crouch, jump, crouch, jump, crouch. But on a controller, it's really weird because you only have your thumb, right? So you have to take your thumb off the thumbstick to put it onto a button on the face of your controller to hit crouch, unless you remap things in some weird way, or you use a modded controller that has like paddles on the back for extra fingers to trigger buttons, besides just like, you know, your pointer finger, maybe your middle finger, and your thumb, you know, so you can use your other two fingers. It's a very strange problem, and one that I'm very, very keenly interested on what your feedback is in particular. Do you think that we should have regular, normal bunny hops, or should we stick with the slide hops? And I don't mean we. I'm not part of Respawn. Should Respawn, you know, what should they do? What do you believe they should do to have the best experience for players in Titanfall 2? Second, let's take a look at networks. We'll be pretty broad with this one. What did you really like about networks? What did you really dislike about them? Again, broad, right? We don't have a lot of info to go off of, and I'll kind of get the ball rolling here. One thing I really liked was that we are going to have statistics involved with our networks. So we'll be able to see the total number of kills that our network has, deaths that we have, total hours played as a network, the total number of merits that we have, all kinds of other statistics that, you know, we're going to have lists upon lists upon lists of them that we can go and see and just chomp down on. It's going to be a whole lot of fun, at least for me. I really like seeing statistics like that. But what do you guys feel about networks? How do you like being able to just, you know, hop on, always have a group of people that are just set and going to be live and playing around the same time that you are, that you can just, you know, say, hey, invite network into Bounty Hunt, and, you know, you have a team of 6 people going and playing Bounty Hunt, probably all have microphones and playing together, having a good time. It seems like a really good idea on paper. In practice, it wasn't as great, just because, you know, tech test, connection issues, you know, invites weren't working, stuff like that. That'll all be resolved for the final release, we hope. So what is your feedback, you know, just barring that, right? Kind of pretending that the invites weren't working and stuff like that. Just, you know, I guess we're almost getting into theoretical here, because we don't have a whole lot of actual concrete evidence, and we didn't have a whole lot of features yet. But, you know, just what are your thoughts on the ideas behind networks? Do you really like it? Is it something that you're going to use extensively? Is it something that you're going to completely ignore and that you don't care about? Let's get creative with this one. What do you guys think? Third on the list, let's take a look at ranked matches for Titanfall 2. How do you guys feel about ranked modes in general in other video games? You know, is it something that you guys enjoy playing, that you like playing, or not really? You know, obviously there's kind of a visceral response in seeing your ranking go up, seeing your skill ranking go up. You like to see that. You see, you know, you feel rewarded from that. You know, over time you may lose some games, you may lose some ranks, but you see, you know, over the course of a few months your skill rating will go from, you know, from X to X plus 5 or whatever, you know, and you just get better and better and better over time, and it feels really good to be improving as a player and to play in that competitive arena for a lot of people, not for everybody. So is a competitive mode something that you would want to see coming to Titanfall 2? Would you rather it be like the ranking chips from Titanfall 1, or would you rather it be a true matchmaking system, or a true ranked match system, similar to like Overwatch or Counter-Strike, for example, where you have leagues, you have an MMR, you have a set skill rating that defines where you are placed in the ladder? How would you want to see Respawn approach a ranked matchmaking mode, assuming that it's not even coming at release? It might be coming at release. I have no idea. Or rather, if I do, I can't tell you anyways because NDAs. But what are you looking for in a ranked matchmaking mode in Titanfall 2? Or are you not looking for one at all? And if you're not, that's totally okay. But for the people that are looking for one, what do you want to see? How do you want to see it implemented? What will be the most fun and engaging and I guess competitive for you? Because that's what it's all about, right? And I guess as a quick addendum to that question, if there were a ranked playlist in Titanfall 2, would you want it to be limited to 1 or 2 or 3 game modes? Would you want everything to be included? And if you want it to be limited, what should it be limited to? I think the obvious answer on everyone's mind for at least one of them would be Capture the Flag. But what other game modes would you like to see? I mean, I guess you can just list Titanfall 1 game modes because we don't know all the brand new ones in Titanfall 2, but Bounty Hunt, for example, with like some significant reworks like I've suggested in the past in previous videos, might actually be a decently viable competitive game mode. Not the best or the greatest or one that would be played in tournaments, but for a ranked play setting, like a ranked matchmaking, could be reasonable to implement. So what about game modes for ranked? What do you guys think about those? Next up, we'll take a quick gander at UI design and sound design. I've seen a lot of rather negative feedback about the way that the UI is put together for Titanfall 2. So let's get some specifics here. What exactly do you not like? One thing that's kind of irked me about some of the feedback I've been seeing for UI is that people are saying they have no way of identifying how many Titans are available or on the field. It's, you know, just because it's not in the bottom left corner anymore, they don't see it anymore. Just a quick note is if you look at the top of your screen when you're playing Bounty Hunt, if you see a gray, like dimmed out line, that means that, you know, that player slot is filled with a player, right? So there should be 5 of those lines for 5 players, or 6 for 6, or whatever. When you see that gray dimmed out one, there's no Titan available. There's no Titan called for that player. It's just a player that's still working on their Titan. When you see that line filled in white, that means they have a Titan available, but they have not dropped it yet. It's just ready to go. And then when you see that line extend down into a little banner of a Titan, then you know that that Titan is dropped, it's on the battlefield. You're only going to see all 3 striations of that for friendly players. For enemy players, you're going to see just either the banner or gray. You're not going to see if they have it ready and haven't dropped. They don't give you that information, and probably for good reason. So, barring that little nuance that's been irking me for the past week, what do you not like about the UI, and why do you want to see it changed? Or if you do like it, what do you really like about it? For example, the new system of displaying which direction you're being shot from, I find absolutely fine. You know, it's not the same as that 3-dimensional arrow that points exactly to where you were being shot from, like Titanfall 1, but it's still a-okay as it is. Like, it's not a problem as it is. It's not degrading my experience as it is. But for a lot of players, the UI seems to be degrading the experience. Why is that? And following that up, what about the audio design? I've also heard a lot of people not super duper happy with the audio. With this one, I'm not really sure I agree. I'm not really sure what the problem with audio is. I mean, I would make some small tweaks, which I know are already coming. Like, for example, pilot footsteps might need to be a little bit louder, because I found it very difficult to hear footsteps in a lot of situations where I probably should have heard them. Is this a get good situation, or is this a game is bad situation? I'm not really sure. As I played more and more, I got better at hearing the footsteps, of course. You know, of course I'm going to get better at them, but it still seemed a little off. I'm kind of curious if they're a little too quiet, because a player that really knows how to modulate their sound and, you know, reduce the footstep noise that they're creating, they would be almost undetectable. So, not sure if that is the actual intention. If that's the intention, then fine, that's what Respawn wants, but that's just one little nuance. So everything in general, all like the overarching audio that you hear, you know, all your audio cues of sound, of abilities becoming ready again, you know, like if you have a cooldown that, well, rather, let me rephrase that. You have an ability that comes off of cooldown, you'll often hear a little noise if you're in a Titan, or just little sounds here and there. Like when your gun is depleting ammo and you're near the end of your magazine, it starts making a little different noise with the last few bullets. Like it kind of pitches up, I believe, if my memory serves me correctly. So stuff like that. What do you like about the audio design of this game? What do you dislike about it? But more importantly, what do you want to see improved upon, right? I know that everyone's going to say, oh, more grunt dialogue, blah, blah, blah. That's probably coming already. They probably already have a million more lines of dialogue and this and that already set in there. I'm sure that Blisk and whoever else is talking to over the intercom throughout the game is going to have a lot more audio in the final release. I'm sure it was just a very small subset that they gave us for the tech test. But, you know, barring more voice lines and stuff like that, what do you want to see from a technical standpoint change with the audio design in Titanfall 2 based upon what you've seen in the tech test so far? Finally, and I kind of shudder to bring this one up, is map design in Titanfall 2's tech test. A lot of people, like a very, very, very vast majority of people, have said that they really dislike the map design in Titanfall 2. I don't quite follow what the reason for that might be. Although I do kind of have the same feeling where I wasn't super duper impressed with the 3 maps that we were given in the tech test. But I'm still having trouble articulating what the actual underlying problems might really be. They seem to have plenty of areas for you to wall run, to gain momentum, to maintain momentum, to, you know, there's decent sight lines. You know, of course the Homestead is going to be really big and really open like Fracture, but I kind of like it better than Fracture. I kind of mind playing it a lot less than Fracture. I hate playing Fracture, but I don't really mind Homestead as much. I kind of dislike it. My opinion of it is relatively negative. Like if I had to give it like on a scale of 1 to 10, I'd give it like a 3 or 4 in terms of like enjoyment that I have playing on it. But it's not as bad as Fracture. It's not that bad. You know, Boomtown is, again, it doesn't feel like super good. I don't really know what the reasoning is. So what do you guys think? And if you give me the 3-lane argument, I'm gonna explode, because there's so many maps with lanes in Titanfall 1 that we know and we love. Like, people love Rise for some reason. It's full of lanes. People love Angel City. There is pretty much 3 lanes through Angel City. There is the lane behind B Point, the lane in front of B Point, and then the lane through the field back to the between the 2 flags. And then like that back alley, that entire other side of the back alley is like unused. So that's a 3-lane map that everyone loves as being the best map in Titanfall 1. Why? You know, this lane argument that everyone is making, I don't feel has a lot of validity, and I'm interested to see what your guys' feedback is. You know, what in particular do you not like about them and why? Because I'm not sure I can put my finger on it, and I'm really keen to find out if any of you guys can. And with that, I think that's just about it for this video. I don't believe I'm going to be doing any more of these question videos based on the tech test. All the stuff that I've asked you so far, I think was going to be pretty sufficient for the big issues that I really wanted to hit on with Respawn. So let me know, comment section, all your answers to everything if you do feel so inclined to answer. I really appreciate the ginormous response I got from the last video. It was like a million times bigger than I thought it was actually going to get, so thank you guys very much. If we can do even like a quarter of what we got for the last video, that would be absolutely fantastic. So let me know in the comments what you think, or email me if you'd rather email me. My email is down in the comments, or rather the description box. Just click on that show more or whatever, and it'll be down in there. You can click on that, send me an email. Let me know what you think, guys. I will have results for you, maybe. I'm not sure if I will have any results for you at all. You might have to wait for the final game. But if I'm able to report back on anything, I will. Just give me a couple of weeks and that'll happen. So thanks for watching, guys. See you next time. Take care.